everyone! Welcome to Mathematics for Grade 6. I'm your teacher, Teacher Dea. Ngayong natutunan na ninyo sa nakaraang video ang about adding and subtracting fractions. So this time we will discuss about multiplying simple fractions and mixed numbers. So kung medyo nahirapan kayo sa addition and subtraction of fractions dahil kailangan natin itong gawing similar fractions, so this time, hindi na kailangan i-change pa siya into similar fractions. So there is no need for the LCD or the least common denominator here. So let's begin with multiplying simple fractions. So let's try 2/5 times 1/3. So in multiplying simple fractions, so you should just multiply the numerator by the numerator, then denominator by the denominator. So in our example, you are going to multiply 2 times 1 is equal to 2. Then 5 times 3 is equal to 15. Then you are going to look at if the resulting fraction is already the simplest form, wherein the greatest common factor is more than 1. So this time, the greatest common factor of 2 and 15 is only 1. So this is already in the lowest term, so this will be the final answer. Now let's try another example of multiplying simple fractions. So let's try 1/2 times 4/5. So the first, you are going to multiply first the numerators 1 and 4. So that will give you 4. And then multiply the denominator 2 and 5. So that will give you 10. So look at your answer, which is 4 tenths if it is already in the simplest form. So as you can see, the greatest common factor of 4 and 10 is 2. So you can divide both 4 and 10 by 2. So by the same number, divide by 2. So you have 4 divided by 2 is equal to 2, and then 10 divided by 2 is equal to 5. So your answer is 2/5. In multiplying fractions, you can also apply cancellation method. So this method is a way to simplify fraction before you multiply. So you're just going to find one numerator and one denominator, and then divide it by the same number, and then cancel it. So you must cancel diagonally, never horizontally. So let's take a look with the following example. So we have 2/3 times 6/7. Okay. So first, you are going to compare one numerator and one denominator diagonally. So look at 2 and 7. So 2 and 7, the greatest common factor of that is only 1. So you cannot cancel it. So it will remain 2 and 7. And then how about 3 and 6? So 3 and 6 can be divided both by 3. So you can cancel 3 and 6 by dividing both by the greatest common factor of 3. So 6 divided by 3 is equal to 2. Then 3 divided by 3 is equal to 1. So you have now the new numerator as 2 and the new denominator as 1. So you may now proceed to multiplying fraction, the same as the usual rules in multiplying fractions, wherein you are just going to multiply the numerator by the numerator, the denominator by the denominator. So this time you will multiply 2 times 2 is equal to 4. And then 1 times 7 is equal to 7. So as you can see, the greatest common factor of 4 and 7 is only 1. So that is already the simplest form. So that will be your final answer. Now let's try another example of cancellation method. So we have 2 6 times 3 tenths. So first, you are going to compare one numerator to one denominator diagonally, and then the other one, 2. So, as you can see, 2 and 10 can be divided both by 2. So, the greatest common factor of this is 2. So, 2 divided by 2 is 1. 10 divided by 2 is 5. Okay, then the other numerator and denominator, so the greatest common factor of 3 and 6 is 3. So you can divide both by 3. So 3 divided by 3 is 1. 6 divided by 3 is 2. So you have now the new numerators of 1 and then 2 and 5. So this time you will multiply now the same as the usual rules in multiplying fractions. So you will just multiply 1 times 1 is equal to 1. Then 2 times 5 is equal to 10. So 110 is already in the simplest form, so that will be your final answer. So this time we will multiply fraction by a whole number and vice versa. So let's take 6 times 1/4. So as you can see, the 6 is a whole number and 1/4 is a fraction. So how will you multiply it? So first, you are going to rewrite the whole number into a fraction by just putting 1 as the denominator. So you will make 6 over 1. So you are going to look at now if you can cancel the numerator and denominators. So as you can see, 6 and 4 can be divided both by 2. So we will cancel it. Divided by 2 is 3. Divided by 2 is 2. So, you are going to multiply now the numerator by the numerator, the denominator by the denominator. So, we have 3 times 1 is equal to 3. Then 1 times 2 is equal to 2. So, 3 halves is an improper fraction. So, that could not be the final answer. It must be you are going to write it as a mixed number. So how will you write it as a mixed number? So you are just going to divide the numerator by the denominator. So 3 divided by 2. So 3 divided by 2 is equal to 1. 2 times 1 is 2. So 3 minus 2 is 1. So you are going to write it as 1 as your whole number. So 1, and then your remainder will be your numerator, and 2, or the divisor, will be your denominator. So that will be 1 and 1/2. So your answer should be 1 and 1/2. So this time we are going to multiply fraction by a mixed number. So what is a mixed number? It is a combination of a whole number and a fraction. So let's say 1 and 1/2, 3 and 1/4. So those are examples of mixed number. So let's try 2 and 1/3 times 1/2. So we have mixed number, and the other one is a simple fraction. So how will you multiply those numbers? So first, you are going to change the mixed number into an improper fraction. How? So by just multiplying the denominator to the whole number, then add the numerator. So in this example, we will multiply 3 times 2 is equal to 6 plus 1 is equal to 7. So you have now the new numerator of 7 and then just copy the denominator 3. So you will write it as 7 over 3. No? Then multiply it with 1/2. So we will go back now to the usual rules in multiplying fractions or simple fractions by just multiplying the numerator by the numerator and denominator by the denominator. And you can also apply cancellation if it is possible. So as you can see, 7 and 2, the greatest common factor is only 1, so retain. Then 3 and 1 also retain. So you cannot apply the cancellation method here. So you will multiply now 7 times 1 is equal to 7. Then 3 times 2 is equal to 6. So 7/6 is an improper fraction wherein the numerator is greater than the denominator. So it cannot be your final answer. It must be into a mixed number. So the same what we have done a while ago. So you are going to divide 7 by 6. So 7 divided by 6 is 1. So 6 times 1 is 6. 7 minus 6 is 1. So we have 1 as the whole number. So that will be 1. And then your numerator, the remainder will be your numerator. And then the divisor will be your denominator. So the final answer will be 1 and 1/6. Now let's do multiplying whole number by a mixed number and vice versa. So let's take 2 times 1 and 1/4. So we have a whole number and then the other one is a mixed number or in the combination of whole number and a fraction. So first, you are going to change the mixed number into an improper fraction. So by just multiplying the denominator by the whole number, multiply and then add the numerator. So that will give you 4 times 1 is 4 plus 1 is 5. So that will become 5 over 4. So you are just going to copy the denominator. Then next, the whole number. So you are going to rewrite the whole number as a fraction by just writing 1 as the denominator of that whole number. So 2 will become 2 over 1. Then multiply. So the same as the usual rules, you will multiply the numerator by the numerator, denominator by the denominator. And then you can also apply the cancellation method if it is possible. So in this example, 2 and 4 can be divided both by 2. So 2 divided by 2 is 1, 4 divided by 2 is 2. So retain 1 and 5. So you are going to multiply now. 1 times 5 is 5. 1 times 2 is 2. So again, 5 halves is an improper fraction. So you must change it into a mixed number. So just divide 5 by 2. So 5 divided by 2 is equal to 2 times 2 is 4. 5 minus 4 is 1. So your answer should be, the whole number is 2 and then the numerator is 1 and then copy the denominator 2. So your final answer is 2 and 1/2. Okay, so let's have now multiplying mixed number by another mixed number. So let's take 1 and 2/3 times 4 and 1/2. Okay, so the same mixed numbers. So first, you are going to change the mixed number into an improper fraction. So the same as what we have done. No? So 3 times 1 is 3 plus 2 is 5. Then 2 times 4 is 8 plus 1 is 9. So you have now the new fraction as 5. Copy the denominator 3 times the new numerator as 9. Copy the denominator 2. So you will multiply now the numerator by the numerator, denominator by the denominator. You may apply also cancellation method. So as you can see, 3 and 9 can be divided both by 3. So you can cancel divided by 3. So it is equal to 3. And 3 divided by 3 is equal to 1. Then 5 and 2, the greatest common factor is only 1. So you can cancel it. So just remain 5 and 2. So now you are going to multiply 5 times 3 is equal to 15. Then 1 times 2 is equal to 2. So the numerator is greater than the denominator. So this is an improper fraction. So that should not be the final answer. It must be a mixed number. So just divide 15 by 2. So 7. 7 times 2 is 14. And subtract 15 minus 14 is 1. So you have the whole number as 7 and the numerator as 1, then the denominator as 2. So your final answer should be 7 and 1/2. As a simple reminder, aside from using x as a symbol of multiplication, you can also use that or parentheses as to represent multiplication. So let's say 1/2 that 1/3. So that means 1/2 times 1/3. So the same procedure, you are going to multiply the numerator by the numerator and denominator by the denominator. And another one of writing it using parentheses. So we have 1/2, open and close parentheses, then 1/3, open and close parentheses. So that means multiplication. The same procedure, multiplying the numerator by the numerator, denominator by the denominator. So you can multiply 1 times 1 is equal to 1 and 2 times 3 is equal to 6. So those are, it can be also phrases like multiplied by, the word times, the product of, and also the word of. Now let's say 3, 1/3 of 1/2. So that means 1/3 times 1/2. So those are the other terms used in multiplication. That's all for today. Enjoy watching. I hope it helped you to answer your module easier. Goodbye. Till next time.